G'day, I'm Ray Tomes from New Zealand. Welcome to this first of the Saturday Science Cycles discussions, which we'll be putting on each week, hopefully. Often it will be me talking, but sometimes I'll get some guests to talk to you about something in the Cycles news. We'll try to keep them a little bit current, things that may have happened. You're welcome to go to the Cycles forum on the Foundation for Study of Cycles site and leave requests for things or make comments about these discussions, and we can discuss things further there if need be. Today my subject is related to New Zealand, where I live, where some kauri trees were found buried in sort of muddy deposits, and they discovered that there were some of them that were dated from around 42,000 years ago. Now that was a particularly interesting time because it so happened that the magnetic field of the Earth started to reverse, did a little temporary excursion, and then came back again to the same as it is now. But the fact is that the reversal of cycles is a quite rare event, only happening every hundreds of thousands of years on average. So this particular one gives us a bit of extra information about a reversal and a quick reversal back again. A number of the reports state that there may have been some effects on life on Earth as a result of this. Some of them start to talk about extinctions, but I don't think there was any major extinction, because the main cycle for mass extinctions is 27 million years, whereas these reversals happen a lot more often than that, so they aren't causing mass extinctions. They might cause the odd species that's on the brink of it to fall off, but that's about all. So let's have a look at some of the photos that have been done that show the various, there are pictures of the tree, and I'll read you a little bit out of one of the articles that was published, and then I'll have a bit of a look at my previous analysis of magnetic reversals. Generally, it has been said that magnetic reversals are not cyclical. What they mean by that is there's not any very obvious cycle in it. It doesn't do it at a regular interval. But in actual fact, there are some clear cycles in it, I found too, and I believe there are more. And I've got some data which hopefully I'll be able to analyse sometime that will look at some of the shorter cycles that this one may have been related to there. Okay. This first picture shows a large kauri log being a bit slice taken out of it, and says ancient kauri trees capture last collapse of Earth's magnetic field. The kauri, measuring a massive 2.5 metres in diameter, is one of the oldest trees ever found. The ancient kauri tree was uncovered during excavations at Napa for a geothermal power plant expansion. It wasn't actually a swamp kauri, but they said it was preserved as if it had been a swamp kauri and it was in the earth. The study links new, detailed data about Earth's atmosphere to a series of unfortunate events that occurred around the same time. The study begins with fossilised kauri trees pictured that died over 41,000 years ago. The Adams Event, a geomagnetic-driven environmental crisis 42,000 years ago. This is by Alan Cooper and Chris Turney in Australia. Geological archives record multiple reversals of Earth's magnetic poles, yet the potential impact of these events remains unknown. The lack of any obvious association between the last major inversion, the Lachamps excursion 41,000 years ago, and polar ice paleoclimate records has underpinned the view that geomagnetic reversals do not have major environmental consequences. We find this is not the case. Importantly, the weakened geomagnetic field causes rapid production of atmospheric radiocarbon, and the lack of accurate calibration records has complicated dating of environmental and archaeological events in other parts of the world. Here we exploit the first detailed record of radiocarbon levels across the Lachamps excursion using New Zealand swamp kauri. trees to precisely align Pacific Basin environmental changes with polar paleoclimate records using beryllium-10. Comprehensive radiocarbon dated and glacial sequences are consistent with global chemistry climate modelling and show synchronous climate changes across the mid to low latitudes that are concentrated during the magnetic field minimum, 42.2 to 41.5 thousand years ago, in the transitional phase that precedes the Lachamps excursion. Critically, the revised timing reveals associations with a wide range of extinction events and major changes in the global archaeological record, which we hereby term the Adams event. The climatic, environmental and evolutionary impact of past magnetic reversals now form a critical issue for future investigation. Now, here is a chart that shows the reversals of the Earth's magnetic field over a long period of time for the last 80 million years. It's starting at 80 million years ago on the right and coming down to zero present day on the left. The top part shows the polarity, with black meaning it's the same as it is now, and white meaning the north and south poles are the reverse of what they are now. You can see that it's not perfectly regular, that there's patches where there's more white, more black, and shorter ones and longer ones. However, there's some clear patterns evident. Just below that, I put some little orange marks, and I put these at a regular 1.11 million year interval. And you can see that each time that orange mark occurs, it tends to be in a black area or a little cluster of black areas. And in between those, it tends to be white. On a longer time scale, there are more black areas I've marked with those green bands going along, and they are 9 million years long, or 8 times as long as the other one. And it's quite clear that that one continues back further in time and shows that cycle. So I've identified 2 clear cycles that exist in magnetic reversals. Below there is shown the epoch, the different geological ages, and also the time in millions of years there. So basically we can conclude there are cycles in magnetic reversals, but there's some shorter ones that we've got evidence of with this kauri tree, and it would be nice to be able to put this together with the longer and the shorter cycles, which is something that remains to be done yet. I hope you enjoyed this first Science Cycle seminar, which we'll have every Saturday, hopefully. So a little bit more about me. I'm Ray Tomes. I live in New Zealand. I've been studying cycles for a long time, and it's a fascinating area. There are cycles in everything. Edward Dewey just established that every single thing has cycles in. I'm the director of Cycles Research Institute, and we joined with the Foundation for the Study of Cycles last year. And I'm now the science director for the Foundation for the Study of Cycles. And the Foundation for the Study of Cycles is now on a very firm footing again, after having had a couple of hiccups. So it's very good. You can join the foundation. You can find out more on both the Foundation for the Study of Cycles site, cycles.org, and you can also look at cyclesresearchinstitute.org. And my personal website is ray.tomes.biz. You'll find different things on all of these. I also have a YouTube channel called Wobbly Universe, which describes the fact that the entire universe is full of cycles. It's not just a local phenomenon. So I'll look forward to telling you more about these things, especially from the point of view of things that are coming up in the news. The next one will be about space travel, not space travel, but the results of space travel, observations of what's on Mars, that there are some very regular features that also exist on Earth and other planets, so we'll be looking at that. So I look forward to seeing you in the future. Have fun.
Hello, I'm Dr. Richard Smith, the Chairman and Executive Director of the Foundation for the Study of Cycles. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. I'd like to ask that if you're not a member of the FSC, that you consider joining so that we may continue to bring you high quality cycles analysis research and programs like this. If you're already a member, of course, thank you. Would you please consider making a donation to the FSC? We are a not-for-profit organization, and your donations and membership fees are tax deductible. Every dollar that we bring in goes to further the vision of our founder, Edward R. Dewey. Together, we can make a real difference and bring these critical reports and analyses to the next generation. Thank you for standing with the FSC, and see you next time.